لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على النبي الرؤوف الرحيم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه وذرياته أجمعين الصلاة والسلام عليك يا سيدي يا رسول الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا سيدي يا نور الله अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह सुम्मा अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। अल्लाह का करोड़ शुक्र है, उसका एहसान है कि उसने अपने हबीब नबी हज़रत मोहम्मद मुस्तफ़ा अहमद मुश्तबा सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के वसीला और दलीला से हमें बेशुमार इनामात से नवाजा और ये माह मुक़द्दस हमें अता किया और तौफीक दी कि हम इस माह मुक़द्दस में रोज़े रख सकें, उसकी बात कर सकें। अल्लाह तबारक व तआला हुज़ूर के सदक़े से हमारी सहरी इफ्तार को अपनी बारगाह में कबूल मंजूर फरमाए, हमारे रोज़ों को अपनी बारगाह में कबूल मंजूर फरमाए। बार ताला अपने हबीब के सदक़े से तमाम बीमारों को शिफा अजर कामिल अता फरमाए। आज का मौजू सईदा तय्यबा ताहिरा उम्मुल मोमिनीन सईदा आयशा सिद्दीक़ा अतीक़ा रज़ियल्लाहु ताला अन्हा की ज़िंदगी के हवाले से है। आप सईदना अबू बकर सिद्दीक़ रज़ियल्लाहु ताला अन्हु अमीरुल मोमिनीन खलीफतुल अव्वल अफ़ज़लुल बशर बअदल अंबिया, उनकी लख्त नूर नज़र लख्त जिगर उनकी बेटी थी। आप रज़ियल्लाहु ताला अन्हा वो वाहिद अज़वाज में से हैं हुज़ूर नबी करीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की, जो कि बिल्कुल कवारी थी, जिनकी पहले किसी से शादी नहीं हुई थी। सईदा आयशा रज़ियल्लाहु ताला अन्हा was the only wife Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam married to who never been married before. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam loved Sayyida Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha so much that one of the narration in which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, and he makes dua from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, narrator says that near the time when Hazur alayhi salatu wasalam about to leave this dunya, at that time Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Bari ta'ala, as far as the justice concerned, I have done the justice with my all wives. जहाँ तक इंसाफ की बात है, बारी ताला मैंने तमाम बीवियों के साथ इंसाफ किया है। और लेकिन जो मेरा दिल है, my heart always goes towards Sayyida Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha. This is my love in my heart for my Aisha, and this is how much Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam loved that at the last days of his life, when Hazur alayhi salatu wasalam became ill, he spent most time with Sayyida Aisha Tayyibah Tahira Atiqa Siddiqah. He asked the permission of other wives, if you give me the permission, the days I meant to spend with you, if you give me the permission, with your permission, can I spend my last days with Sayyida Aisha Atiqa Tayyibah Tahira radiallahu ta'ala anha. All of those wives said to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that whenever you feel you want to stay, we are no one to stop you, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the reason why he asked the permission of their wives, because justice demands that Hazur alayhi salatu wasalam has to treat all the wives equally. And Hazur alayhi salatu wasalam is a prime example, is a perfect example for humanity, that the way Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam lived a life, and everybody and anybody who wants to be a justiceful, or wants to do justice amongst their wives, they look at the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Hazur alayhi salatu wasalam has to fulfill the right of those wives. That's why Hazur alayhi salatu wasalam asked the permission, because he did not want to be to do injustice with any of the wives. Otherwise they could say, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it was my turn. You meant to be in my room, in my house, but you did not come and you did the injustice with me for that particular night or particular day. That's why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked the permission of those Moamineen, the Moamineen, that if you give me the permission, I want to spend my last days with Syyeda Aisha, Siddiqah radiallahu ta'ala عنہا. And they all gave the permission, and then Hazur alayhi salatu wasalam spent the last days of his life in a hujra of Syyeda Aisha, Tayyibah Tahira, Atiqa radiallahu ta'ala عنہا. And the way Hazur alayhi salatu wasalam left this dunya, Amma Aisha says that Hazur alayhi salatu wasalam was lying down in my lap. The head Mubarak of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the blessed head of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was in the lap of Syyeda Aisha Tayyibah Tahira radiallahu ta'ala anha. And this is the way Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam left this dunya. And she says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed me with this, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam spent the last days of his life with me in my hujra. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the grave of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is also made in my hujra. यानी हज़रत आयशा सिद्दीक़ा का ये मकाम है कि अल्लाह तबारक व तआला ने आखिरी अय्याम हुज़ूर अलैहिस्सलातु वस्सलाम के अम्मा आयशा के साथ ही गुजारे, और उन्हीं की गोद में हुज़ूर नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम का सर मुबारक था, और उन्हीं की गोद में आप की जिस्म से रूह परवाज़ की और इस दुनिया से रुखसत हुए, और उन्हीं के हुजरा में हुज़ूर अलैहिस्सलातु वस्सलाम का मिज़ार शरीफ भी आज भी वही मौजूद है. Syyeda Ummul Moamineen Aisha Siddiqah, the reason why we call Ummul Moamineen, it means the mother of the believers. Huzoor alayhi salatu wasalam, all the wives of Prophet, of any Prophet, they are not allowed to marry anybody other than Rasul. Obviously, once they marry the Prophet, they become the mother of all the believers who follow them. And it is haram on the believer to marry the mother, and in the Sharia, the Muhammadiyya, in any of the Sharia. So that's why the wife of the Prophets, they do not marry anybody even after the Prophet passes away. So that's why Huzoor alayhi salatu wasalam, all the wives or all the azwaj of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam are called Ummul Moamineen, the mother of the believers. Syyeda Aisha, if we look at the ancestors, and if we look at the parents and the shajra of Ummul Moamineen, it goes back to the same place where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the forefather of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Marra bin Ka'ab bin Lui, and it joins the same generation to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. यानी बाद में जाके वही जाके शजरा नस्ल हुजूर नबी sallallahu alaihi wasallam से जा मिलकर. The kunyat of Syyeda Aisha was Abdullah. Even though Syyeda Aisha did not have any children, but still she was given this title by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abdullah. Because the Abdullah bin Zubayr radiallahu ta'ala, because of him, Huzoor alayhi salatu wasalam said that he is your son, you can call him as your son and you become his mother. And one of the narrations says, Amma Aisha says to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, can you give me a kunyat, a title which I should be known for? And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave this name to Syyeda Aisha and said that from today you become the mother of Abdullah bin Zubayr radiallahu ta'ala. And that's why one of the narrations says that Huzoor alayhi salatu wasalam, when he was born, and Abdullah bin Zubayr was born, Huzoor alayhi salatu wasalam put his Luab Mubarak in his mouth. And then Huzoor alayhi salatu wasalam said, he's our son, and you're his mother, so you become Abdullah radiallahu ta'ala. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, one of the narration, the nikah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam happened with Sayyida Aisha Tahira when Aisha was only about 6-year-old. In different narrations says 8-year-old, 7-year-old, or up to 9-year-old. This is when the nikah took place. And the nikah took place when she was quite young. And as Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq, it was his wish. And he said to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "It is my wish that you marry my daughter." And in Islam, the marriage is not to fulfill the needs of two bodies. जिस्म की ज़रूरतों के लिए खाली शादी नहीं की जाती इस्लाम में. The purpose of this, it is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those who are married, their maqam is greater than the person who's unmarried. So Sahaba Karam, Ridwanullahi ta'ala alayhim ajma'in, and all the awliya, they wanted to marry for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So whenever they do the ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they get more sawab. A person who's not married, when he reads the salah, he receives the sawab of 1 salah. When a married person reads the salah, he receives the reward of 1 salah equal to 27 salahs. So he receives 27 times more reward for each salah. The reason why Hazrat says, when a man he wakes up for the morning and leaves his wife, and he gets up and he goes to the prayer and reads his Fajr Salah, at that time Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves him the most. That's why the maqam of the married person is more than the one who's not married. So in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the married people have more maqam, and the reward is more for those people who are married. That's why one of the reasons the Sahaba Karam also used to marry. And one of the companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his wife passed away, and after some time he became ill, and he was about to leave this dunya, and his last time he was crying and he was worried. The other companions asked, and they said to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Why is he crying so much? Is it because he's leaving you, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam?" Asking, "Why are you crying?" He says, "Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I heard the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the court of Allah, those people have more maqam. They get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those who die while they were married. So I'm not married anymore. My wife departed from me a while ago, and now at this time I'm going as unmarried person to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala." So Huzur alayhi salatu wasalam, when he heard, then Huzur said, "Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the person is more closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who died as a married man." So then one of the companions said, "Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I have my daughter who's just born a few days ago, or a few weeks ago, or a few months ago." He said, "If I do the nikah of my daughter with him, so would that be acceptable in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Will he class as a married person?" Hazrat said, "Yes, indeed he will." And then that Sahabi, he says, "Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I do the nikah of my daughter with him. You do the nikah." And then Huzur carry out the nikah ceremony, they get married, and then that Sahabi departs from this dunya. So in Islam, the marriage is not just about the fulfilling the need of the body, and they do not do this for this purpose. The only purpose is the only pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to gain the closeness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why they marry. And that's the reason Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala, when Sayyida Khadija al-Kubra radiallahu ta'ala anha, she departed this dunya, and then the uncle of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam also passed away, and Hazur alayhi salatu wasalam became very lonely. And Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala, he used to worry about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he used to make a dua from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he said to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Ya Rasulullah, this is my wish, that you marry my daughter." And then Hazur alayhi salatu wasalam, and this was the dream of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam before this happened, the nikah ceremony happened. Hazur alayhi salatu wasalam says that, and this is narrated by Aisha herself, she says that I was told, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam once told me, after the marriage, they told me that I saw you in my dream twice. I had the dream 2 times, and I saw your face, your picture. One of the narrations says, I saw your face. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed me your face. And remembering here one more thing very important. The dream of the Prophet are also wahy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah, they are also revelation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hazrat says, I saw your face wrapped in the silk cloth. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed me your face, and I saw you. And then the angel said to me, she is going to be your wife. And Hazrat said that if this is the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then indeed I will marry her. And another narration, this hadith is from Bukhari Sharif. This hadith I just mentioned is from Bukhari Sharif. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Another narration says, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that I've seen you 3 nights constantly in my dream, and Jibreel Islam brought a picture for me, and that picture was wrapped in a silk cloth, and they asked me to remove that, and I removed the cloth from the picture, and then I saw your picture, and Jibreel Islam said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made her your wife, and she's going to be your wife. And Jibreel Islam said, then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that if this is the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then indeed I will make her my wife. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already revealed to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that she is the one who is going to be your wife, and she is the one who is never married with anybody. And this hadith Mubarakah is from Muslim and Tirmidhi Sharif also, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saw Aisha in the dream, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that she is going to be your wife. And one of the narration, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that the many Sahabi, they say, Hazrat Umar bin As radiallahu anhu says that I asked one day that who is most beloved to you, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? And the first person Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said is Aisha, that is beloved to me. And as the Umar bin As asked Ya Rasulullah, who's after them? Then Hazrat says her father. And then they said, after that, and Hazrat said it's Umar. And then say, after that says Osman. And then he said, after that it says Ali ibn Murtaza. And then Hazrat then he says, I asked, and Hazrat mentioned a few names. And when they mentioned about 8-9 names, and after that I stopped. I did not ask. Because Hazrat Amr bin As wanted to ask that Hazrat maybe my name come. And then he thought that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam may not mention my name, or maybe my name comes right at the end, so I should stop. So Hazrat Amr says that I stopped, that maybe my name comes. What if my name comes right at the end? So that's why this is hadith also from Bukhari Sharif. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam always loved Syyeda Aisha, Tayyiba, Tahira, Atika so much that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whenever they go, and Rasulullah used to lie down, and every time Rasulullah used to lie down, he used to lie in the lap of Syyeda Aisha Siddiqah. And at the time when people used to hate their wives, in those monthly time when a woman goes through some phase, at that time in Arab, it was famous and it was known that when women go through those time periods, they used to hate the wife. They used to ask her to stay away. The man used to hate them. And this was a tradition in Arab countries, in those Arab people. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam changed that. And Hazrat in fact used to sit in one tub with water, and Aisha used to sit in the lap of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this is the example Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam set for the believers. So Hazrat loved their wives so much. There's no shame when you go close to your wife, and the way Hazrat lived. This is only for us. It's not that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam needed all these things. They did not need any of that. They did everything because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the example for the believer, as Quran says that the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Husna, Uswa Husna, the character is the best example for the believers. Huzur Islam, because Aisha was quite young at the time when Huzur Islam married Aisha, they did the nikah. Nikah took place when she was either 6, 8 or 9-year-old, and then the rukhsati happened after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam migrated from Makkah Sharif to Medina, and then the rukhsati happened at the time Aisha's age either 9 or 12-year-old, but she was over the age of puberty. She was over the age of puberty. The reason why we nowadays, many people just argue all this and they say that she was a child. Anybody who comes to in Islam, anyone, or even before Islam, in Christianity, in Judaism, anybody who comes to the age of puberty and wise enough to understand the obligatory prayers are compulsory on them. Obligatory oaths of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are compulsory on everybody. So when you get to the age of puberty, the Jamaat namaz is first, and you become in Islam, you become an adult when you come to the age of puberty. In female, girls can come to the age of puberty up from 6 year to 9 year, or maximum 12 years of age. A girl can come to the age of puberty, depending on the diet of the girl. And the boy can come to the age of puberty from 7 or 9 to up to the 14. The boy come to the age of puberty a bit later than the girls. But nowadays, quite a few incidents we've recently come across where the child, almost 5-year-old, came to the age of puberty and became pregnant in Europe. Somewhere it was in the news. Obviously, it's not something good news, but it's just the age of puberty. Because when you don't get to the age of puberty, you're unable to produce children. So the puberty is something where you are able to produce children. So Aisha was definitely over the age of puberty. But because she was quite young, she used to play. She had a few toys and she used to play with them. And one day she asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam if he can. There was a boy playing outside the Masjid Nabawi, and she said, "Can I see those boys, or those children who are playing outside?" Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said yes. And Huzur stood in front of the door and she stood behind, and she kept on looking at those children while they were playing. And the Rabi says, you can imagine somebody who's quite young, 12-year-old or 9-year-old or 10-year-old child, how long she would have looked at those children and how long she would have stayed. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not say once to her, that's enough. She stayed, it could be maybe for an hour, 2 hours. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam carried on staying there like this. And when Aisha said, now I'm tired, I want to go home, then Huzur Islam moved. So this is how much Huzur Islam used to love Aisha. One of the narrations says that one of the neighbor of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was Persian, and he made a curry and he invited Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam once. And Huzur Islam did not want to go alone, and he said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, is she invited as well? Meaning Syyeda Aisha also invited, or is it just only me? He said, only you, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Huzur Islam refused his da'wat. Said, if she's not invited, then I don't want to come. The next time he invited again, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made something, and then he invited again. Huzur Islam asked the same question, is she invited or is it only me? He said, Ya Rasulullah, it's only you. Huzur Islam refused his da'wat again. And the third time he came, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked again, and he said, Ya Rasulullah, yes, this time she's also invited, because I made it enough that she's also invited. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam accepted. And Huzur Islam, Rabi says, Huzur Islam held the hand of Aisha Siddiqah Tayyibah Tahira and walked amongst the companion, and they went to the house. So imagine holding, we obviously there's a shara, there's shape in the shara, and there are a few things. But Huzur Islam held the hand of Aisha. Yeah? So if somebody holds the hand of his wife, it's not against Islam. Islam has given them the right, because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this is how they live their life. And this is the Hadith of Barakah from Muslim Sharif and many other Hadith of Barakah. Many other books also written this Hadith of Barakah. The Huzur Islam hold the hand of Aisha and then they walk together. And Huzur ﷺ loved Aisha so much. There are many hadith of Barakah on this. One of the hadith of Barakah, Huzur ﷺ says that, "Oh Aisha, Jibreel has come to me. And he's saying the salam to you that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent him to give you the salam." So that means, one narration, the Rawi says that it was maybe the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who's sending salam to Aisha through Jibreel. And the second says, the second opinion is this, that maybe the Jibreel who came with the revelation, when they saw that Aisha is also there, they said to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Give my salam to Aisha." It's either Jibreel or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala giving the salam to Aisha Siddiqah radiallahu ta'ala. And this is the maqam of Sayyida Aisha, Tayyiba, Tahira, Atiqa. And in Sahaba, even the Sahaba Karam used to say that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to love Aisha so much, and there is nobody as beloved as Aisha to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And always Rasulullah wanted to make sure that Aisha, the Aisha Siddiqah radiallahu ta'ala anha, is pleased with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She's so humble and she's so down to earth. She always had the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She never, anybody who used to praise her, she used to make dua, the Bari Ta'ala, what if I would not exist in the dunya? At least these people would not praise me, would not do तारीफ, मेरी तारीफ नहीं करेंगे लोग. हज़रत अम्मा आयशा को तारीफ करता था तो आपको इतनी आजिज़ी होती है, इतनी इंकिसारी से कहती थी, बारी ताला काश कि मैं होती ना, मैं ना होती थी, मेरी तारीफ तो ना करते, मैं तो कुछ भी नहीं हूँ, I'm nothing. Baari Ta'ala. So when the companion used to come and at the time when she was about to leave this dunya, the companion used to come one by one, and they used to ask the hal of Aisha, and they used to come on the other side, and then they used to ask, and Aisha used to tell them like, "Don't praise me because I'm nothing, I'm no one." But those companions, obviously they've seen Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how beloved she is to Rasulullah, so they used to come and they used to do ta'rif of Aisha. Aisha, one of the narration says that Sayyida Aisha, Siddiqah, Atiqa, Tayyiba, Tahira, she was so generous that one of the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he came and he gave to Aisha some of the mal, Hazrat Abdullah bin Zubair. He brought 2 boxes of dinar, or the gold or something which is quite valuable, either dirham, dinar or some gold. The value was about 80,000 or 100,000. And Aisha, it was the month of Ramadan, Aisha opened after the Sahri, she read the Fajr Namaz and she opened the door and started calling those poor and needy people. The people started coming and she opened those 2 boxes and put them in a big plate, and then without looking at the person, whoever was coming, they did not look at the face of the people. And when they come in, keep giving, just picked up the handful of coin or ashrafi or gold or whatever it was, and she kept on giving. She kept giving until it was a time for iftar. Throughout the day she carried on giving. It's either 100,000 or 80,000 dinar or dirham. She carried on giving throughout the day. And then at the time of iftar, she said to the khadima, who was the servant, she said to her, bring something for iftar. She brought a glass of water and 1 date. And then she says to Aisha in a way that, "Oh, Aisha, you could have saved something, at least for 1 dirham or 1 dinar, so we can buy some meat from outside and could open the fast with that. Well, there's nothing at home. You did not save anything from this." And Aisha smiled and she said, "You do not need to speak to me like this. You don't need to taunt me like that. We could have saved something, but you should have told me before. Why did you not speak before? If I knew you wanted to have a meat, you wanted to cook something, I would have saved something for you. I would have kept a few dinar for you. But it's okay now. It's gone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us more and then we'll think about it." So this was the generosity of Aisha. And another narration says that as Aisha used to save for days, a few days, he used to save the mal. And then towards the end, And when she has enough money, enough mal, that she can distribute amongst the people. So she used to invite all the poor people of this area, of the Medina Sharif, all the poor and needy people used to come, and then she used to give one by one to all of them until all of that goes away again. And then the Khadma says again, see, you did not save anything. You said to me that I'm going to save something, but you did not save anything again. She said, okay, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us again, and then we'll give some more. There are many hadith of Baraka on this maqam. And then when it comes to ilm of Syyeda Aisha, Hazrat Abu Musa al-Ashari, they say that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his companion, whenever we were stuck to find out the masla, how to find the way of this masla, or what is the masla, and how to deal with it, we run out of the hadith of Baraka. We may not remember some of the hadith of Baraka. And all the companions used to go to Aisha, Siddiqah, عنہا, and then they used to ask them how to deal with this masla. What is the answer to this masla? Or how is this hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? She would not even think for a second. She used to reply straight away. This is the ilm of Syyeda Aisha. The reason ulama says that why she had such a ilm, because Hazrat used to spend so much time with Aisha, Siddiqah, Tayyibah, Tahira, and then because the nisbat and the connection she had with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then she used to see the face of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam while the Quran Majid Furqan Hamid is being revealed. And when Jibreel Islam used to come and she used to see Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Anwaru Tajalliyat, because of the barakat of Anwaru Tajalliyat and because of the hadith of Baraka, she heard from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala given so much knowledge to Aisha. And one of the narrations says that she had so much knowledge that if all the women come together on earth, all the women, if we join them together, and the knowledge all those women have, if we equal that knowledge, the knowledge of Aisha alone is greater than all the women's knowledge. So this is the maqam Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to Aisha. And then she departed from this dunya after some time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when they left the dunya, and she also departed. She departed from this dunya on 17th of Ramadan, when she was at the 66-year-old, and she lived after Rasulullah. She stayed with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam for 9 years, and after the rest of the years she spent alone. But with and then Hazrat Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala, they did the janaza of Sayyida Aisha, Tayyibah, Tahira, Atiqa radiallahu ta'ala anha, and then she was buried in Jannatul Baqi. On 17th of the month of Ramadan, there's also another very famous incident took place, the first battlefield, the first battle fought by the believers and non-believer, Battle of Badr, famous. And that is one of the battle after 13 years of Islam, after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam announced prophecy, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made the companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam so strong that when the time comes, they do not turn their back round to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then after so many years, this was the first time Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered the companion to protect yourself. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when they found out the kuffar and mushrikeen and they're coming to fight and have a war with Muslim, then Rasulullah asked the Sahaba Karam, what do you think about that? All the companion, they all said very passionately, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, why are you asking our permission? Why are you asking us like this? You order us, whatever you order us, we will do this. Even you ask us to go all the way and take our chest, take our Sina and fight all the way to the other side of the Yemen, we will go and do that for you. If you ask us to run in the sea without caring about drowning, we will run in the sea. Ya Rasulullah, we'll sacrifice our life for you. Why you don't need to ask us, you don't need to do mashwara with us, you just need to order us and we will follow your orders. And Sahaba Karam ridwanullahi ta'ala alayhim ajma'in, they went at Maqam of Badr, the field of Badr, and they had nothing, empty-handed. The only thing, a few swords, about 6 or 7 swords they had, and all those swords were also rusted. And there were 330 people and they're going to fight with people who more than 1,000. And they had the other side of Kuffar and Mushrikeen, they had the armor suits, they have the swords, brand new sword, they had the camel, they had the horses, they had all the things. And they were chanting, and that they were worried, they had so much pride, and they had gharur in them, ego. The Kuffar had, and the Muslim, the only pride and the gharur they had, it was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And they were rich with the iman, the dawlat of iman they had, and that is the only thing they started walking behind Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And just because of the iman, Hazur alayhi salatu wasalam at the Battle of Badr, they made dua from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are my companion, handful of companion. If they leave, if they don't succeed in this war, there will be nobody. If they die here today, there will be nobody on earth who will say your name after this. Ya Rasul, Ya Bari Ta'ala, these the people who have not eaten, they're hungry, fulfill their needs, and remove their hunger and thirst. And they're empty-handed. When they leave from Battle of Badr, after this Badr, Bari Ta'ala fill their hand with something. And Bari Ta'ala, they have no rest in their hearts. Put rest in their heart, put itminan, put satisfaction in their heart, satisfaction of iman, satisfaction of this, that you promise me that you will fulfill your, you will help us in this battle, and you will fulfill your promise by Allah. It's time for you to fulfill your promise. And then that happened. The narrator says that when Sahaba Karam, that was the first time they had a proper meal after so many years. And after the Battle of Badr, they ate properly at that time. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted the dua of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They won the war. Empty-handed companion. And when they were leaving, when they were going back, their hands were full with alms. Their hands were full with so much mal and dawlat and mal and ghanimat that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala given them from that. And then not only this, they made slaves, 70 people of Kuffar and Mushrikeen, they made them slave as well. And 70 went finnar. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when they died, and Hazur pointed and told, hey, who is going to die where? And then Sahaba Karam said, exactly at those spots, all of them died. And then Hazur asked the companion, dig up a big hole and throw all the bodies of Kuffar and Mushrikeen in that hole. And then they did dig up the hole, and then throw all the bodies in that. And then Hazur ﷺ named each one of the kafir and mushrik and said, O Abu Jahl, O Utbah, O Shayba, O Rabi'a, tell me what happened. Did I tell you that when that time will come and you will realize, but it will be too late. Now you understand the reality, that now you know whatever message I have brought to you, that was true message. Now you understand the reality, but it is too late. Huzur was talking to them, and Hazrat Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu ta'ala, he asked, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, do they even listen to you? They died. They're dead. So how would they listen to you? Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Huzur says, oh my Umar, they listen to you. They listen to me more than you listening to me. They listen to me that the way you're listening to me now, they're even listening to me more than you are listening to me. So their sama'at is more than your sama'at. And their understanding is more than your understanding now. And they can see that because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed everything to them now. They see their punishment, they see the Jahannam in front of them. So for them, a haqq is more ayan than it is to you. And haqq unke upar zyada jo khul chuka hai, it is open for them now. There is no denial. They understand more than you understand. So Allah tabarak wa ta'ala ke Nabi ne unko ye kiya. Ye tamam ke tamam log jo bade gharoor mein rehte the, those people died in the battle of Badr. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave a great success. Even the Jews and the Christian and those people who were thinking that, if Muslims survive from this battle, then whatever bunch of Muslims will left behind, we will go and fight with them and we will finish them all. And when they heard the news, somebody told them, the Jews, they said, oh no, you've probably gone crazy, you've gone mad. तुम्हें समझ नहीं आती, तुम कैसे हो सकता है कि अरब के ऐसे बड़े बहादुर लोग There's such a brave man and on the other side of the kuffar and mushrikeen. How come anybody win the war with them? People have a fear of those people. Abu Jahl and Utbah and Shayba and all the other big people, they used to have fear of them. There is no way Muslim can win the war with them. But when they saw Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when they saw those slaves, the very brave people became slaves and they got arrested from the battlefield and the rest of them ran away. And then the Jews at that time who were planning to fight with Muslims at that time, they also started to have the fear of Muslim. And that's why that's one of the great success Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to the Muslim. And all those people who were planning to do, even the munafiqeen who thought the Muslim will today, the kuffar will put the end to the Muslim and Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala broke their trust, whatever they were thinking. And they started to have the fear of Muslim at that time. And Islam ko zyada taqat mili, and then Islam spread very fast and very strongly with the companion day by day. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came, now do the jihad. Now your companions are strong enough, they would not care about sacrificing their life. They would not hesitate even once. Because I have tried them, I have tested them in the battlefield. And now you go and you war with the people. If somebody comes and embraces Islam, it's fine. If they don't, they come to fight with you, you fight back with them people. फिर उसके बाद जिहाद की आयतें नाज़िल होना शुरू हुई, तो पहले अल्लाह ने सिर्फ कहा कि अफू और दरगुजर से काम लो मेरे सहाबा. So those companions, they've taken so much beating from the kuffar and mushrikeen, they've taken so much torture from the kuffar and mushrikeen, and no wonder why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to those companions, very companions, radiyallahu anhum wa radu an, I am pleased with them and they are pleased with me. Every believer is their wish that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with me. But we don't know whether Allah is pleased with us or not. But surely those companions in the dunya, they had this good news from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned a few times in the Quran that I am pleased with them and they are pleased with me. Dua from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our ibadah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our fasting, sahur and iftar. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept us, all the ibadah that we do throughout the month of Ramadan and charities that we do throughout the month of Ramadan. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect the whole Muslim ummah. Wa ma alayna illa al-balagh.
आया नहीं रहता है सब चलो